My dear parents, your children are very simple and they have very simple and basic needs. And I shall be discussing these needs in just a short while. Hello, namaskar, and I welcome you all to a brand new episode of B1 News. And I am going to be speaking about the very basic needs of your children. My name is Anukriti Sharma, and I am a certified life coach and a team parenting coach. And today's episode is all about your children and their needs. So, children have got 4 very simple and basic needs. 1, to feel loved. 2, to feel that they are significant. 3, they want to feel protected. And 4, they want to feel that they matter. To feel loved, to feel significant, to feel protected, to feel safe, and to feel that they matter. So there's 5 basic needs. To feel protected and to feel safe practically is the same thing. So you could boil them down to 4 basic needs. These are the 4 basic needs that your children have. And when these needs during the course of childhood are not met, there's only one of 4 things which your children can do. The first thing that your child can do is to fall sick. And falling sick is so powerful for a child because suddenly the child feels loved. The child starts to receive all that importance and attention because the doctors and the nurses are so kind to the child. And the child suddenly starts to feel loved and wanted. The second best thing to feeling loved is to feel wanted. And when the child receives that, it's very empowering for a child. The second thing which can happen to a child is that the child will become brilliant at whatever he or she does. So that's where the sports stars come out and the top graders, the straight A students come out. Because when the child starts to perform brilliantly, he or she starts to feel important and significant. Suddenly the parents start to shower all the love and attention on their children. Oh, look at my son and look at his trophy, or look at my daughter or his or her performance at school. Suddenly the son or the daughter starts to feel very important because they see that now my parents are paying attention to me. Now my parents are giving importance to me. So the child starts to feel that sense of validation which he or she has been craving all this while. And sadly, this pattern of performance continues right into adulthood. And these are the students who then eventually grow up to being brilliant adults and being brilliant at whatever they do. They're brilliant in whichever industry they choose to build their career in. The third thing which can happen to a child is, all right, I understand that the world is unfair, life is unfair, I never received love, I never received importance. So what I can do now is I can reach out, I can step up, I can show up, and I can start to give love and care instead. That's where all the doctors and the therapists and the nurses and the educators and the counselors come from. It's pretty much like a calling, which then eventually transforms into a career or a profession. So these children, when they don't receive love, they respond by reaching out to others in the society. They show up and they start to reach out and give love and care to others instead. They start to put other people's needs before theirs, because when they start to take care of others, they receive that sense of fulfillment. Ironic, isn't it? By giving something which they never received, they feel fulfilled. Love in this case. So for example, as a therapist, I can share an anecdote. A client of mine once came to me and she shared that she had a high-powered executive as a mother, but she used to drink all the time. she would be drunk. And she never had time for her daughter except for the time when she was drunk. That's when the daughter started to feel useful because she would take care of her mother, she would clean up the house, or she would prepare some soup or dinner for her mother, or she would run to the store and buy more alcohol for her daughter, or she would clean up the garage or hide the alcohol bottles over there before the dad would come home. That's the time when she felt most needed or most wanted. And like I mentioned, the second best thing to feeling loved is to feel wanted. And she felt wanted. And this pattern continued into her adulthood. She also turned out to be a high-powered executive, and she only ever dated alcoholics because she felt that when she was nursing or helping an alcoholic, she would feel most wanted. She would feel most validated. So such children then eventually turn up to be caregivers. When they grow up and they become adults, they become the carers or the caregivers. And then the last thing which can happen to your child, quite interestingly, is that they can become outrageously rebellious. And this usually happens when all the other roles that I've spoken about have been taken up. For example, my little sister's always sick. My father's brilliant all the time. My brother is so perfect and he's so perfectly caring all the time. So now what can I do? I can be the rebellious one. I can take my spoon and bang it hard on the table and create a drama and a hard time for everybody else in the family because I got to take power off these people. So such children end up becoming rebellious. And unfortunately, this pattern of behavior also continues well into their adulthood. So these are the 4 things. Either of these 4 things could happen to your child when they don't receive what they require, when their needs are not met. And your children's needs are very simple. They need to feel loved. They need to feel that they're significant. They need to feel safe and protected with you. And they need to feel that they matter. If these needs are met, then such children grow up to be healthy adults, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and they also have healthy social relationships in the society as adults.